Good afternoon, everyone, and Ramadan Kareem. My name is Katarina Martins. I'm from the DMCC marketing team, and I'm delighted to welcome you all today to our webinar, Made for Trade Live, US in Focus, in partnership with AmCham. In this live session, our experts will give you the perfect opportunity to discover key benefits of setting up a business in Dubai and many more inside information. In case you will have any questions throughout the webinar, you can use the Q&A chat at the bottom of your screen to raise your questions, and we will answer them at the end of the session. This webinar is being recorded and a copy will be shared with everyone after this. And now, without any further delay, I will hand over to Mr. Sanjeev Datta, Executive Director of Commodities and Financial Services at DMCC, for his welcome note.
Hello, everyone, and I hope you are all keeping well, safe, and staying at home. Now, obviously, things have changed in the past few months, and we've done the Made for Trade Live roadshows slightly differently. We've traveled, but I think we've also discovered a very, very efficient and tireless way of coming to you and explaining to you the benefits of expanding your business to DMCC. Thank you for joining. We've all been fortunate as a team, the Made for Trade Live team, to travel across the world with this highly and critically acclaimed roadshow, talking to people about the benefits of doing business in Dubai. Now, as I said, they've of course all of them been in person, but what is going on at the moment is driving us to do things differently, and hence we've had to move our roadshows online. We've done quite a few of these webinars over the last couple of weeks, and very interesting outcome, starting from South Africa to UK and a lot of other countries. And of course, we're very delighted to be speaking to the American business community, albeit online. This takes a little bit of adjustment, we all realize, but what is absolutely unchanged is the message we have for you. Dubai is a city of unparalleled opportunity for a variety of reasons, which we as a team will discuss with you shortly, and DMCC is your gateway to growth. Again, it is brilliant to be speaking to the business community, albeit online, but please use the opportunity to walk through step by step of how to set up a business in DMCC. My highly experienced colleague James will tell us more during the course of the next 1 hour, and what you can expect from having a satellite office in one of the most exciting cities in the world, situated at the crossroads of East and West, North and South, most importantly, demand and supply. In terms of the pivotal words which DMCC uses as part of its strategy, it's digital and innovation. And we can see we're addressing this webinar using much of those. Some key phrases which I'd really urge you to, sort of keep at the forefront while we do the next 1 hour of exciting deliberation and talk is we are DMCC. We are made for trade, made for sustainable trade. We believe we are in a perfect position to connect demand and supply. We are the center port of trade. We create a marketplace for our members. We enable our members succeed. That is, the bedrock of our policy. We create world-class physical and digital infrastructure where required to establish such marketplaces. And I'll talk to you about those in detail during the course of our presentation. And all of this we try and encapsulate in perfect and robust regulatory framework. What is important is we believe in first movers and fast movers. Change is the only constant. And where this is required to drive businesses forward, we're right there to handhold our members. So I'd love to welcome you once again and play you a little video regarding what DMCC is. Thank you.
Welcome to DMCC, in the heart of Dubai, a business capital with unrivaled access to the world's highest potential economies and infinite possibilities. Our free zone is home to the leading businesses of today and of tomorrow, where over 100,000 people live, work and play in our award-winning community and our new world-class destination, Uptown Dubai. This is a place where innovation transforms ideas into opportunity and networks forge relationships that last. We are also the world's leading commodities hub, a global center for trading. Everything from tea and coffee to gold and diamonds, and so much more. Where ancient trade routes meet a hyper-connected future. To grow your business and reach the world, set up your company in the world's leading free zone and be part of the future of trade.
So that is DMCC in a nutshell. And without much delay, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Ms. Kara Nazari, who's the Managing Director of the AmCham in Dubai. So over to you, Kara. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev, and thank you, James, for hosting AmCham this morning, or this afternoon, actually. I love your statement that the only constant, Sanjeev, is change. That is so true. AmCham Dubai is one of those companies that we feel is agile and has had to adjust, just like everyone else, to our new working environment. And much of what we do is the same. We continue to be a partner. I'll give you just a brief introduction about AmCham, because I'm not sure what an AmCham is. We're a member of the Global American Chambers of Commerce. We are licensed under Dubai Chamber of Commerce, and we work with chambers of commerce throughout the region, part of the GCC, AmCham MENA network, and the MECAC, Middle East Chambers of American Chambers of Commerce. So we have quite a network here in the region and around the globe. Oh, I hope everybody can hear me. I'm getting a note that says my internet connection is unstable. So if you can't hear me, please send me a message and let me know. So what we do is continue to work to build the trade relationship between the US and the UAE. The UAE is the US's #1 regional trading partner. You know, surpassing much larger economies, but still it's the most significant in the region. And about 2 years ago, AmCham Dubai relocated its offices from down in downtown Dubai, and we moved out to DMCC. We haven't looked back since. We've been had a great partnership. We've had a great partnership with DMCC. I'm getting a note that says you can't hear me. So, you know what, I'm going to turn
You're okay, Kara. You just keep breaking up occasionally, so I don't think
okay. Should I turn my video off? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, possibly. Let's try it.
Okay. I hope that's better for everybody. Anyway, oh, great. We moved out to DMCC. We haven't looked back, and we believe we've formulated a great partner with the organization itself, with the folks who are on the ground making things happen, and exploring opportunities for American business to call DMCC home. So with that, I'd like to give you the opportunity to watch a brief video about what AmCham does, and then I'll tell you how we have adapted and some of the things we continue to work on going into the Q2 and beyond in 2020. Sanjeev, can you play the video? Thank you very much for that. I hope that shows you a bit about what an AmCham does. Those are a sampling of the events that we hosted in 2019. We did 63 events in 2019, and that was kind of a record-breaking number for us. But it was mandated by the support members needed, what we thought would bring value to them, and we have closely to our members and build our programming around that. We have put together, I do have to tell you guys, several task force committees that are actively engaged even after the onset of the COVID-19 crisis. We feel that we have 4 key deliverable members. One is knowledge sharing, network building, the other is policy shaping discussion, and it'll come to me, I promise you. Hello? Anyway, policy shaping discussion. And one of the key things that we've continued to strive through COVID-19 crisis is that we're working, our task force is working harder than ever to share best thought. Used to share best practice, but now it's thought because it's developing as we go through the days. And there is no standard practice that's been in place. So we continue to work on that. We have our American Brand Forum, which has continued to work with Dubai Customs, Dubai Police, Economic Department in relation to integrity for all brands in the region and operating. Digitalization and innovation is one of the key things that have come to the forefront, and we have taken all of our programming to a digital format. So we look forward to welcoming you to AmCham events, whether they're webinars or whatnot. We still try to share knowledge. Our next event in relation to webinars is the upcoming event focused on doing business with the US government, and that's going to be May 19th. So be on the lookout for that. And I thank you for the opportunity to share a bit about what AmCham is and what we do. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. We will get you some answers. James?
Thank you very much, Cara. We're going to continue with James Burnett. He's the head of corporate sales at DMCC Free Zone.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here today. Thanks, Cara. I know that it's very difficult when technology goes a bit wrong, so well done on persevering there. Thank you all for joining us today. We realize some of you will know a bit about DMCC already, and some of you won't, so I have a brief presentation for you to tell you a bit about what we're doing, who we are, where we're going. So just to start with, DMCC, we were formed back in 2002, so we've been around for a while, and we had the mandate to develop trade flow through Dubai, and through that, we've built ourselves into the regulator of DMCC Free Zone. So as a regulator of the Free Zone, just so that everyone understands, it's our job to license companies, to register companies, and to provide all the relevant parts of what a company would need to operate in Dubai in our Free Zone. I'll go into a bit of detail as we go forward. So we're also a property developer. We've developed various projects, the biggest being the JLT, Jumeirah Lakes Towers community, which we developed from 2002 going forward, and where Al Mas Tower is, and where AmCham is situated on the, I think, second floor there. We're also a trade facilitator, and that comes in many forms, but one of them is the what Sanjeev will come back and talk to us in a few slides about, which is our different platforms that we offer different sectors, different industry sectors. But we also have many other trade facilitating tools that we put forward to our members in order to connect to different companies and form a bit of a marketplace. As Sanjeev pointed out earlier, also our slogan is that we're made for trade. And this is really connecting buyers and sellers, distributors, producers, consumers, and of course, services within that. I think at this point it's really important that we mention that we understand how difficult it is for the business community as a whole, whether you're an American company, a British company, a German company, Emirati company, everyone is pretty much suffering over since this started a few months back. And we have done our bit on trying to bring out support packages for both existing members and for companies who are interested in setting up now and in the months ahead. So we've come up with various packages such as up to 50% reduction on total company setup fees. And you can actually set up a company now pretty much fully online, and we can give you a flexible working solution until you find a physical space if that's something you need during these difficult times, so as not to have to travel too much. We also have a 30% reduction on existing license fees, so anyone who is a DMCC member company can inquire about these, and we'd be happy to give further details. We've also got flexible payment options for companies who are within our business centers, FlexiDesk, service offices, and various other offers that we've got out there. And of course, we are working with the federal authorities for different parts of this. So visas, we're in line with those, the visa delays. So if you're not able to renew your visa, there is some slack there, and you're able to, I think by the end of the year, as long as you renew it by then, everything's fine. And we'll watch this space because it is a moving vehicle, if you like, and changing every day. So we're here to update you on a daily basis. So just a little bit about free zones and why DMCC. Talking to members, I usually say this, but talking to members, I often hear that it's just as much about brand and reputation. So the DMCC slogan, the DMCC brand, being associated with DMCC in your company is not a bad thing. We are a well-regulated zone, which is becoming increasingly important in today's economy and business globally with KYC and AML. DMCC has been put itself into that position a long time ago, and that's one of our USPs. And that's backed up by us winning the Global Free Zone of the Year 2019. That's an award given by the Financial Times FDI magazine, and that's been won by us for the past 5 years, which we're very proud of. So we're located in the center of Dubai, really in the heart opposite Dubai Marina. We're a community of retail, residential, and commercial space where you can settle and bring your family. We have nurseries, there's schools surrounding us, there's everything you would need to bring your family and set up a business. We also are home to 2 of the Dubai metro stations, very luckily, and that can take you to the airport and wherever else in Dubai you want to go. We, once again, I bring this up, it's trade enablers that we offer. So we think that once a company has decided to come to DMCC, it's up to us to help those companies to meet each other and to provide platforms and products and services whereby they can come into this already existing marketplace of 17,000 companies and 100,000 people living and working in our JLT community. So we do a lot to try and promote this through clubs, educational series, and business events that we usually have on a weekly basis. Now, of course, we're doing them digitally. So this is an overview of Jumeirah Lakes Towers and DMCC. You can see the headquarters there, the Almas Tower, which is just by where it says that we contribute 10% to Dubai's GDP. So if you look closely, you'll see Kara there on the 2nd floor, just above one of the diamonds. So Almas Tower is diamond in Arabic, and it's also home to our diamond trading floor and many of the global companies in the diamond sector around the world. You can see the different numbers here. So we are represented as a free zone by companies from 170 different nationalities from around the world. We have about 65,000 employees from the different companies and about 100,000 people living and working in the free zone. You can see some other statistics about just the number of retail outlets we have there, business centers, different towers, both residential and commercial towers. So DMCC is set up of 3 different pillars. So first is the free zone. So we are a free zone licensing authority and regulator. So we set up companies for you. We're pretty much like the Chamber of Commerce versus Companies House. And we issue a license that enables you to perform business in DMCC free zone. And we have different sections of sectors in different industries, over 950 different activities. And we help you to set up and run your business in terms of all the back office stuff to make it simple so you can get on with business. We're also a property developer, so our biggest project obviously has been being master developer of the Jumeirah Lakes Towers community, where our DMCC free zone is. But we also have a uptown project that we're busy with, and I'll show you a slide just a bit later on. As I mentioned earlier, we have trade enablers, and Sanjeev is going to go into a bit more detail about that when I finished. It's to do with commodities and financial services, and this plays into really sort of what DMCC is all about. And this is all packaged by a great corporate governance and regulatory environment that we exude. It's fit for purpose, so it doesn't weigh on any company in particular, but it's a great positive to have. So a slide of Jumeirah Lakes Towers back in 2002. And one today. So you can see the real progress that DMCC and Dubai as a whole has made over the last years. For those of you who don't know what a free zone is, it's an area of land. Ours is Jumeirah Lakes Towers, where we're located. It usually has concessions from the government. We have 0% tax, 0% corporate tax, and 0% personal income tax. 100% company ownership, so you don't need any sponsorship, and 100% capital repatriation, which means you can take home all the money that you've made to your home country, subject to their tax laws. It's great that there is a 0% corporate tax rate, because there are various dual taxation treaties around the world that the UAE has with other countries, 100 plus. So we'd be delighted to point you in the right direction if you have interested. So what we do is we like to do a bit more than is the standard licensing that a free zone would give you. So we have a lot of other exclusive services. We realize everyone comes into Dubai, or maybe is setting up a company from wherever they are in the world, and they don't know what products and services they require, such as banking services, insurance services, visas, everything like this. So we've teamed up with various service providers. We've chosen the best service providers to work with, and we've used our buying power to get the best rates for those services for you, so that you can be sure that you're working with a quality service provider and getting a good rate. We also, throughout the community, we work with a couple of different incubators and accelerators. One of them is called Astrolabs. They are Google for startups. They're an accelerator for online startups, and we've put through about 100 companies, 100 plus companies through there, some very successful ones. So they offer this great co-working space with education, events, and subsidized by us. We have another one called Nook as well, who's more lifestyle, health, and we're also looking at bringing in other incubators and accelerators over the coming months and years. So some of the most important things that we feel for companies also, be it small or medium size, that we have a good business connections offering, and that comes in many forms. We give knowledge series where clients can find out about from experts about what different opportunities there are out there. We have business networking programs where we introduce different member sectors to each other. Again, we have the incubators, online directory, and we work closely with the business councils like the AmCham and Cara to do events to really make this a cross-section of different sectors, industry sectors, but also different nationalities and geographies as well. Also important to point out how simple residency in the UAE is. So once you have set up a company, you're able to apply for a 3-year renewable visa. So this is a visa for yourself, and you can sponsor your dependents, family. And the only condition with it is that you're in the UAE every 6 months. So very simple online process that we perform in DMCC. So you can see a little bit about the makeup of our companies in this diagram here. So you'll see that India is one of the largest, but you can see that United States is also quite a large proportion of our members. And here you can really see some of the global brands that are in DMCC. I like to point out always on this slide that we're very proud of these different large brands, but at the same time we're just as proud of the small one-man startup that becomes successful as well. And we welcome small micro companies, SMEs, and large companies. So you can see Duracell is here, part of the Berkshire Hathaway Group, Rio Tinto. So you can see different cross sections of industry sectors as well. Yeah, and you can see from this slide, we have 1,723 American nationals working for DMCC registered companies and 545 American companies in the free zone. Quite a few great brands up there. We offer, as I mentioned earlier, we offer a great cross-section of different business activities that you can become licensed for. We have 950 plus different business activities, and we continue to add to those as we see different industries and different sectors that aren't really represented in terms of a license activity as yet. Like blockchain and DLT services was one that we came up with that we thought was very important to distinguish from any other type of business activity. And we're actually working on one other sector, which brings me into this slide, which is very much the cryptographic world, which is, of course, blockchain and cryptocurrencies and anything to do with distributed ledger technology. So early this year, we've teamed up with our partners in Switzerland to develop the Crypto Valley DMCC. And what we'll be doing is creating an ecosystem surrounding an incubator accelerator where we can encourage companies to get together from around the world and country to country as well. So we'll be linking Switzerland to Dubai, to Singapore, to make sure that we have the best in practice offerings to give our members. On this note, we also are working with one of the UAE authorities, financial authorities, to develop crypto asset regulations. And so we'll be developing license activities associated with those regulations as well, which should bring a lot of interest from companies in these sectors around the world. As I mentioned earlier, we are a property developer, and this is our Uptown Dubai development, which is right next to our free zone, connected to the Sheikh Zayed Road and metro station, and really a development of 1 million square feet, and with several towers, residential, mixed use, hotels, and really DMCC needs this in terms of the numbers of inhabitants we already have in JLT, both companies and residentials. And this will help us to move people and give them another option in the years to come. I'm now going to hand over back to Sanjeev to talk to you about our platforms. And after that, we'll be having a Q&A session. So please keep your questions coming. Thank you very much, Sanjeev.
Thank you, James. And again, I keep saying this and I get repetitive. It's always a pleasure listening to you, James. There's new stuff. I mean, we haven't worked together very long, just about 13, 14 years, but we're still getting to know each other. Without wasting any more time, if you just wind back to a few of the phrases which I requested you to keep with you during the course of this 1 hour. One of them was made for trade. One of them was, a platform, marketplace, infrastructure, regulatory framework. Over the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll quickly take you through the platforms which we've successfully created, and you will realize each of these is either a physical or a digital platform, and each of these have been designed to facilitate growth and success for our members. And that I think is the reason, and one of the reasons why we've been so successful in being the best free zone globally, rated by the Times FDI for 5 years now. I'll start with the first bit, which is the AgriSofts vertical. So in that, our first physical infrastructure offering was the DMCC Tea Center. And the Tea Center, by virtue of size, is about 24,000 square meters of physical space. And you could do everything in that space at the center, apart from growing the leaf. So what can you do? You can warehouse, you can value add across, black tea, specialty tea, as well as, the flavors and herbs. In the loose leaf format, you can blend, you can, we've got state-of-the-art blenders. So pretty much everything for you to facilitate tea trade out of this infrastructure. We've packed over 200 brands as we speak. And at times we've handled over 50 million kilos of tea a year. And we've been largely responsible for underlining Dubai's role as the largest re-exporter of tea, with up to a 60% global market share at some points in time. Now, obviously, the tea center, which has been in existence for about 12 to 13 years, was so successful and added, to Dubai's role in the global tea trade route that, we decided to foray into coffee, and that's what got us building the coffee center in less than a year, sorry. Now, the coffee center is a state-of-the-art mechanized center, and it's also one of the leading green bean storage facilities in the region. In addition to just roasting and packing in several formats across, vacuum packed, we will explore cold brew, etc. at some point. It's also a perfect haven for our members to congregate and, exchange ideas and to make their goods and produce available. So again, we're providing a gateway to our members. Flexibility, as I mentioned in the beginning, change is the only constant. So we've got several parameters depending on the size of the members, both across tea and coffee. You could choose to have an office, virtual office, or just a hangout zone where you exchange ideas, all to the benefit of the industry. Also, we are not very fixed in terms of quantities and volume. So we could have bag loads of airlifted coffee, or you could have container loads of sea freighted coffee. All depends on what your requirement is, what your ultimate customer needs. The next most important vertical for DMCC and its role in shaping global trade is precious metals and stones. Now, just by virtue of a few achievements, from the precious metals ecosystem perspective, we are considered a center of excellence and subject matter experts in the realm of precious metals. And we believe we've been largely responsible for contributing to increase in Dubai's gold trade from some $41 billion in the year 2010 to some $76 billion in the previous year, i.e. 2019. The ecosystem encompasses the Dubai Good Delivery Accreditation Standard, a large refinery grid, a large vault, the trade flow platform, which is a securitization platform, which I will come to in a few minutes, the DMCC bullion coins, bullion dealers, jewelry manufacturers, wholesalers, banks, and an exchange, our exchange, the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange, which also I will speak in a couple of minutes about. Strategic engagements with international stakeholders such as the OECD, the World Gold Council, the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Again, the Shanghai Gold Exchange were the first to list their Shanghai Gold futures outside of China and on the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange, which I will speak about. And various Indian associations all form a perfect ecosystem for the precious metals initiative that DMCC leads. Now, from precious metals, I'll move to precious stones, and you will see on the screen there the Dubai Diamond Exchange. Now, James mentioned Almas in the language means diamonds. It's the tallest commercial tower in the region. Some 2005, it was handed over to us. We are home to the Dubai Diamond Exchange, and Dubai Diamond Exchange is home to over 1,000 members. Now, after our launch on the 1st of May 2002 and our focus on diamonds, we are now the second largest diamond trading center in the world, with import and export of some $21 billion of rough and polished diamonds in 2019. And this number was just about zero in 1999. So in 20 years, you will see the kind of impetus Dubai has gained in the precious stones trade. We've been in the Kimberley process. So the Ministry of Economy has entrusted upon us to look after the Kimberley process. And our executive chairman and CEO was the KP chair in the year 2016 and was believed to have brought about radical recommendations and changes in the diamond industry. Our precious stones ecosystem encompasses the Dubai Diamond Exchange, which I just mentioned. And we regularly host international tenders and auctions for both rough and polished, and will soon have tenders for colored gemstones and pearls as well. Infrastructure, we are also building for lab-grown diamonds. Now, when we talk about tenders and auctions, last year we did in excess of $300 million worth tenders and auctions. Obviously, our geographic position and connectivity is forging the new Silk Route. First, direct flights from Surat, which is the world's largest diamond cutting and polishing center, has also enhanced trading volumes because there's that ease of approaching the business. We are also very proud to host the biannual and critically and largely acclaimed Dubai Diamond Conference. And it was last year, which was a sold out year, that we launched the Dubai Design Academy as part of the Dubai Diamond Conference. Now, very quickly, what does the Dubai Design Academy do in terms of the way the name suggests? It is an academy. It is to incubate new fashion jewelry designers. It is a training center to educate using latest state-of-the-art technology, new students. And of course, our concept is very clear. The ecosystem for the Dubai Design Academy is think, design, develop, and trade. It is a new industry career for school graduates with an employment opportunity subsequently. Now, obviously, we will be looking at manufacturing, designing, both for retail and the wholesale. And the key words there are education, training, equipment, and of course, getting a trade license as well. Our target obviously is to develop Dubai and the UAE as the jewelry design capital of the world. And we believe we will get there. Which brings me to the couple of electronic platforms I talked about. The Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange, founded in November of 2005, the largest derivative exchange in the Middle East, and volumes continue to grow with a notional value of over $400 billion and some 23 million contracts across, currency pairs, futures, etc. And of course, the DMCC trade flow platform, again, launched in 2004 as a Dubai commodity receipt, went through several rounds of research and development to produce a state-of-the-art collateralization platform called the DMCC trade flow platform. The beauty is the flexibility again. We can offer securitization, trade financing, both at the corporate and the retail level across both Islamic as well as conventional financing. In terms of geographical outreach, we extend to Kenya, to the CIS countries, several collaboration opportunities being explored in China, and of course, Malaysia. So that is the trade flow platform. And now if I were to connect coffee with the DGCX, we will try and, explore the possibility with a physical delivery in Dubai for a coffee futures on our exchange using latest state-of-the-art blockchain technology. I cannot name names, but we're talking to some of the largest distribution agencies to make this as smooth and efficient as possible. So that gives you a flavor of the kind of initiatives we have undertaken as DMCC to augment, facilitate, promote trade, and not only trade, but sustainable trade. And last but not the least, we are seen as one of the front runners on the sustainability and corporate social responsibility angles, especially given that we're heavily driving precious metals and stones trade and agri-softs, where making available from crop to cup or from the mine to the retailer is very, very important given the markets we deal with. We are one of the very few free zones who've produced 2 sustainability reports and working on the 3rd. We have very strategic collaborations with the identified sustainable development goals and women empowerment initiatives that we as an organization have undertaken. So with that, thank you for your patience, and I'll hand over now to James perhaps for any questions and answers that we may have.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Riyadh? Thank you very much, Sanjeev. That was very interesting as always. Thank you, Kara. Are you still there with us?
Yes, I'm here.
That's great. I'm really interested to know, Kara.
I just have to comment, if I can, if I might just add.
Please.
I was just going to say that since we've moved into Almas Tower up there on the 2nd floor, it's become a real home to us. One of the key components of, success is feeling like relaxed and calm and enjoying your space. And DMCC has provided us that. We can walk to just about anything that we need during the day. If we just want to go out and have a walk, it's a beautiful, as you said, sustainable environment. And it's a great place to have your offices located. There's nothing that you can't, find within the nooks and crannies and all the businesses that operate there. Really an amazing place to be home. And Almas Tower, of course, is, in my opinion, like the greatest facility ever. It's beautiful, and it just has a great business vibe to it. Oftentimes, James, I know I've told you the story many times, I meet our members going up and down the elevators, and that is just the funniest thing to me. Sometimes I just have conversation randomly with people on the elevator, and I turn them into members. So it's a great place to make connections, to build a community. And we're really pleased to be there.
No, that's great. Really pleased to hear that, Kara. It was very fortunate that we did cross paths and that you were able to come and join us in Almas Tower. It was we met the new ambassador when he joined. So it's a great position for all the American companies in DMCC as well, who hopefully will be listening and interested, if they're not already, to become an AmCham member. So Sanjeev.
Right. Well, we're there to support them should they do that.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev. Just a question on the coffee center. So if someone wanted to set up a roasting of their own beans, how does that work there? Is there a tolling arrangement? Is there a minimum quantity?
I think we are flexible as the business is in its nascent stages, but we want to make it as flexible for our members and prospective members so they can explore the market. I mean, what use would it be of to a member if we saddle them with costs and minimum quantities? So I think flexibility remains key. They can come set up, use our state-of-the-art roasting facility, and we have several roasters installed. I just went there this morning. We're still installing some of the latest roasters as we speak. So more than welcome to reach out to me and, get into the specifics.
No, that's great. Tara, if we're looking at becoming a member of AmCham, what's the sort of setup? How do you go about that? I think we may have lost Kara. So I've got a question to me, which I can answer for sure. It's with regard to the packages that we're offering now. So the question was, can we be a little bit more specific about the packages? But really, it depends on the type of business that you have, and if you are an existing member or a member that wants to, or a company that's looking to become a member. So we have different packages. Basically, our lowest rate package that we've given for supporting businesses within this difficult time is a up to 50% reduction of the license fee, which is on a flexi desk. So if a company wants to set up, at the moment we can do it fully online digitally, accept documents, check the documents, do KYC and everything online, and therefore make it very simple for people to have some sort of business continuity, which is really important at the moment. We are seeing businesses still interested in setting up. You'd be surprised, but of course we realize that a lot of companies are finding it very difficult to know what's going on. So every time that we get this opportunity to communicate with businesses, we obviously pass on this message that the DMCC is able to help in all different aspects. I think with that, we're pretty much wrapped up. So unless anyone else has anything to say, I hope everyone enjoyed it and really appreciate Kara and American Chamber being involved in our webinar and the DMCC webinar, and for all the people who actually attended today's event. We'd be delighted to receive any. Oh, I have a question here. Last minute question, Sanjeev, if you're up for it.
Yeah.
I think it's for you. You have many platforms, including gold, diamonds, coffee, and tea. Why didn't we create a platform for beauty to include perfumes, distributors, raw materials, suppliers, components, showroom,
yes, I mean,
studio?
I don't think we are fixed on doing or not doing anything. If there is an opportunity which serves the industry, why not? And James, will you please add on to some of the success stories in that segment out of DMCC?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's the Huda Beauty. What's the name? I forget. Sorry, James. If you were to add how they have become a success story and a conglomerate.
So talking about Huda Beauty, yes.
Yes. Sorry.
So Huda and Mona and her family, they are in DMCC and in JBC Tower across 4 different floors, and they are they are our first unicorn. So we're very proud of their success. And also the way that they conduct business, and they're continuously evolving as well. So we're really, it's there's lots of opportunities, and we're very open to working with our members as well, as Sanjeev pointed out. It's not particularly about what sector it is. It's just about what value it brings, what value addition. And I know Sanjeev, through working through the tea and the coffee, has had to work out what value addition these projects bring, and that's what business is all about.
Yes.
So there's hi James, would be interested to know more about membership requirements and fees for AmCham.
Sure.
We're happy to share in-depth information with Nicholas, and if he can set, James, I'm sure you have his contact details as a logged in participant, so we can get those and share them. It depends a lot on what size business he is and what he is trying to achieve and how his business is set up. So it's not as straightforward as it's a certain fee. It depends on how he's established and what he wants to see out of that membership. So we can share, we have a membership manager, Cynthia, who's happy to engage and share all that information.
Fantastic, thanks for that. We have another question. Do you consider any other licenses after COVID-19? Well, what we've seen in this difficult time is certain business sectors doing better than others. That's mainly in the online sectors of e-commerce and telehealth and distance education and various sectors like that. So we will be taking a much closer look at those sectors and seeing that we have all the license activities that are relevant to those. I know telehealth was one that we came up with a few years back when the DHA, Department of Health, Dubai Health Authority, they came up with these bills that allowed for telehealth. So then we followed suit and came up with a business activity for that. And we'll also be doing the same across the whole sort of distributed ledger, technology, crypto sectors as well. So yes, we're definitely open ears to any suggestions on what business activities, if they're not already there. And I think that concludes everything. Thank you so much. Sanjeev, thank you so much.
Thanks, James. Always
Cara,
a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks to everyone who joined.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you, Sanjeev, and thank you, Cara. Thank you for everyone who joined us today. And if you have any further questions to us or to AmCham, please feel free to reach out directly to us. This is the end of the session. Thank you again for joining and have a nice day.